you.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Ryft. I'm going to be going over some basic tutorial stuff with you guys today. We're going to start off with a default template for Ableton. Essentially, every time you go into Ableton, you want to have a good workflow, and this is going to be a really nice way to set yourself up for success and just to have something familiar that every time you're going in, you don't have to rebuild your entire setup. I'm just going to show you the way that I like to do this. I'm going to show you how to save it and how to kind of configure it for yourself. So just follow along if you'd like. To start here, I'm going to actually do a MIDI track for the start. I'm going to do Shift Command T on Mac, and I'm going to add a kick 2 to this. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to create a sidechain for my first track. So that way I have a dedicated sidechain track. Makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to build one every time because I know I always use it. So we're going to rename this sidechain. And then I'm just going to deactivate it here. That way I can use that for my sidechain. I don't have to worry about turning it off all the time. Here we're going to do a couple MIDI tracks. You can do Shift Command T again, or you can right click and select it from this little menu. Just going to add a few here. Now I'm going to color code all this stuff and group it so that way it just looks nice. We'll just do green. And so the way that you group it is selecting your tracks and then hitting Command G, and then if you right click on any of the playheads, you will be able to select the color for all of those as well. So right click here. Sorry, I kind of skipped through that a little bit. And then I'm going to set up my basic synth. So here I'm going to put Serum, just so I have that in there. And then I'll put Omnisphere for the second one. And then I'm not really sure what I would use for the third one here, so I'm just going to leave it blank. But that way I have an empty MIDI track, so I can just kind of drop a synth in there whenever I'd like. Now for this next part, we're just going to collapse this group and make the next one here. So we'll do like 4 audio tracks just because. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to make them blue, and we're just going to call these effects groups. So if I'm dropping in, and again, Command G, and group all those together. Rename this effects. The reason I'll do that is just so that if I need to add sweeps or any extra audio elements, I just have four dedicated tracks there. I obviously can add more if I want to, but just to start, I'm going to do that. I'm going to name these synths before I forget. And then we'll collapse that. And then again, right click here, you can do these. We'll do 2 MIDI tracks and 2 audio tracks. We'll do these for drums. So again, I'm just kind of throwing this together. You guys can do this however you would like. So rename it and do drums. And then last but not least, I'm definitely going to need a couple vocal tracks. So do that. We'll just do red for fun. I normally save red for important stuff, but for today we'll just do this. And then we're going to rename those vocals. Wow, let's learn how to spell. Alright, so now that we have this done, I have kind of a basic layout of how I want things in here. Now I might want to add, let's say, a couple return tracks or a couple sends, something like that here on the bottom. You obviously can do that. Set them up however you would like. I normally would put a cutoff EQ on my master channel. Probably do that right around 20, because I know that I'm always going to want that to be cut. So we'll do a low cut and then do 96 and just kind of tighten it up here. So that's on my master channel. You always can do that with your synths as well. If you know you always want to start with a certain cut on your synth, you don't have to. I don't always suggest it because sometimes you're going to cut out stuff that you're going to want to hear as you're writing. But you're definitely able to do that on any of these. One of the things I really like to do is put utility on these tracks and just bring down the level like -10. That way I always have a good mix level for when I'm writing. I don't have to be too concerned about it from the beginning. You can just kind of copy and paste those onto all those. It's a nice way to start that. Obviously, if you have certain synthesizers or certain effects that you always go to, drop them in there. Make sure that that's not something that you're reaching for every single time. If you find yourself doing that, build this the way that works for you better than anything else, because this is for your productivity. And then just to finish it off, you can just hit Command and the comma, and it'll pull this up. You're going to go to File and Folder right here, and then you can just hit Save Current Set as Default, click Save, and it will make that your default, so that when you load up a new project, I'll kind of show you what my current one looks like. When you load up a new project, it will pull up exactly how you have it set up every single time you want to work. Makes it super easy, and just it's a little bit more fluid for your workflow. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, please comment below or send me a message directly. I'd love to help you out and answer anything that you guys are frustrated with. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.